Okay, dokie. Oh, so I texted my brother, my sister, my mother, which was basically just a question mark, and we can talk on the phone Thursday. So I'm tired and I don't want to deal with all that. So instead, I'm gonna do this. And one thing I left out. Oh, is this not plugged in? There we go. One thing I left out. Joop. Doop, 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 doop. I think it was 5. Yeah. Is textures. I was about to put texturing. And I was like, is it ing or just ing? And this is what comes to mind. When you see textures in like an app like Krita, for example, you just see a icon. Well, for 2D app, you just see an icon. Let's say like this is the texture, just but the problem is that with textures in a 2D app, it's always going to be the same. It's just regular Euclidean. But for a 3D app, the 2D Euclidean textures is going to be in a 3D space, which might as well be non-Euclidean to the 2D space. I mean, it technically is Euclidean, but we don't have to worry about that. And so you might get warped textures. Like if you have a texture, it is like a blanket. And the thing you want to texture is a ball. And so what's going to happen, let me just click this, is the texture isn't going to wrap well around the ball. It's not going to be even. There's going to be places where it needs to stretch and places where it's regular but looks compressed. How do you fix this? The first thing that comes to mind is 3D textures. So instead of a 2D texture like that, the icon for a 3D texture would look this. Oh, nope, don't zoom in, god damn it. And it will just be these are planes, by the way. Like these are little slabs that go full across like the full thing. But like from the perspective of here, it just looks gray. But essentially, you put the circle in here, and it will still be finicky, okay? It's still gonna be finicky. It's not gonna be what you want. From one direction, it looks good. One direction, it looks like this. No warps, no distortions, but from another direction, it looks like this. Which is a no. So with this, you get warping. With this, you get odd looking textures, like how textures on clothing works. They have a whole lot different texturing for the like sleeve and shoulder part than compared to the main body part. And so it's like the same texture, but like when you look at the seams, it's like it's like at a weird angle or something. So nah. So what can you do? Maybe like a two-step algorithm or something. Like you still have to make it a certain way, but you do the thing that you do with globes, or like you make a 3D sphere into a 2D one and it looks really weird. It's like I can't really draw what it looks like, but kind of like that. Or it stitches all the way around onto itself. And then you apply this, but okay, this is the big but. Sorry, this is the big but. What you do, zoom in. So so basically for this to work, all the textures need to be algorithm based. So to do a texture, it needs to have some sort of recognizable math pattern, not just be arbitrary data. And so it looks at the math pattern, and it's like, okay, this is where it goes for one. This is where let's do a different one. This is where it goes for another. Now the point goes from here, and the other one goes from here. Nope, I did not want that one. This one goes from here. And so it'll go like boop, boop, doop, 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 doop. Swing. Doop, 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 doop. Swing. Push right. And it'll just do that. And there's like certain parameters, like how far apart should these be? So if these aren't that far apart, it will just try something different. It'll be like, okay, instead of doing this one, instead of doing it like that, let's try it like this. And it'll run through the whole thing until it makes it work. And then when it comes all together, when you fold this back up into a regular sphere, it will look perfect. Or something, I don't know. But there also should be chowder textures. So I think actually chowder, yeah, rendering, chowder, fixed to surface textures, which is just everything of this. Okay. So all of this, all of what I'm doing here is trying to figure out how fixed surface textures work. Now this is going off of the premise that you make a texture, but so there's a big difference, okay? If I draw a if I draw the framing of a door. Framing of a door. Okay, mind that I'm bad at this. Framing of a door, okay? And it's a wood door. And wood door, or wood in general, has a grain texture. So you see how I am applying the texture manually myself? Maybe as a 3D artist, you don't want to do that. Maybe instead what you want is to just have a texture for wood already made. Texture for wood already made. What you want to do is just apply it. But in a 3D software or app, that applying it could get funky. So you either might want to do it like this method. Because let's say you just like whatever you're doing is only going to be facing the camera this way. So for regular just cube objects, this kind of texturing probably mostly fine. For sphere objects, the texturing is going to be a bit wonky. If it has a curve, it's going to be a bit wonky. But you still might want to do it like this, because only this side is going to be facing the camera or whatever. So it's fine. But if not, if the thing's going to be turned, and you just want to have a set texture, maybe something generated like this. And then there's also chowder textures, but those are like super easy. So you have a scene, let's say it is a cube with a sphere on top. Let me delete. A sphere, a cube with a sphere on top. And the camera is looking at it from the side, and I just thought of a good quality of life thing. Shadow line. So what I was about to do right here is okay, that's what you see. The perspective is a bit funky, right? And so from the positioning of the camera, it will look like this. Camera. This is the horizon. This is the outline of the cube. This is the oh god, yeah, fucking damn it. Stop. And this is the outline of the sphere. You only see the outline. All of this is just monotonous and the same. But it could help. Could help. Oh shit. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go. Yeah, that works. Okay, chowder textures, right? So it's more of a rendering thing, if anything, but it's technically texture, so I'm going to put it in here. Everyone knows chowder. Everyone knows what a chowder texture is. So let's say, for this scene, you have the ball fall off. So, two things. The ball has an independent texture. Same goes for the cube. Now, because it's a chowder texture, these maybe can only be in 2D. So, this is what you have. This is what you have for what's in frame. Now, for the chowder texture, it's just going to take up the whole of the frame. Let's just have it be like this. So, for the rendering, for the texture, the cube will be like this. I mean, the sphere will be like this. And whatever it's in front of will be the texture. Even if it moves to somewhere else, it will still have the texture of the background, of the specific background. And while it's moving, there's still the texture of the background. That's a chowder texture. Those ones are actually kind of easy. But also, for in VR, dealing with a chowder texture might get weird if it's constantly rendered. It might just be like, oh, what's happening with that object? So it might need like a temporary texture, or maybe like a contrast lines of like these, contrast lines of these. So you know exactly what's happening with the object. Take this paper. So texture, light and shade, perspective. Well, I feel like perspective is like natural. But wouldn't that be such a weird thing? So in art school or whatever, or just in regular art class, what you might learn is perspective. If you want to do buildings and stuff, they look best with perspective, with lines that go off into the horizon or something. I don't know. And you just have yeet, yeet, yeet. So might not mean much, but if you know art, you understand what I'm trying to get at. But in VR, it's kind of useless because if you have a cube that's in VR, you don't have to actually actively do anything with perspective because perspective does it for you already. It's like an inherent property. Here's a cool feature. Why not have a blind man's perspective? Because if you know or heard anything or even thought anything of how blind people view the world, to them, the idea of a horizon is baffling. The idea that objects get smaller the farther they are is baffling. So, in a VR space, why not have some weird distortion algorithm? Like how we have the mirror distortion thingy as a cool mode that you could just do, because why not? It's fun. Why not just have a something where no matter where you put it, it's always the same size. And it's probably like a useless thing. Like, no one's ever going to use it. But I think it'd be fun. It'd be really offsetting to look at a building and have it be like a regular cube. A building to the side is a regular cube. Like, whatever it is, it's still going to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Paper. And also, this is for the drawing learning app. The actual drawing app is somewhere among the mini papers on the middle cabinets, but I'm not going to find them. So this is for like if you want to draw, like want to learn how to draw. It goes texture, light and shading, perspective, basic shapes, sketching, contrast, composition, form, color theory, lines. Let's. How about just a draft mode? So there's like a notes mode, right? Like layers and stuff. And texturing. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember what that is. Man, I really am gonna have to fucking go back through this to figure out what any of this stuff means. I go back through the video because like fan texturing, I looked at it and I was like, what the fuck? But I understand it with the context. Fuck. Oh yeah, just draft mode. Draft slash rough cut mode. That one's just like fairly easy. Like you could animate a whole scene, which would be really easy in draft or rough cut mode. You could roughly see what you're trying to make. And that's just kind of it. Specific assignments, drawing perfect circles. This, yeah, I don't think it's going to be needed. This after the basics, it will be sketching and pre-planning. What it will be I went into making it. So yeah, I feel like the teaching stuff isn't really going to be useful. I guess a good quality of life thing would be lenses plus lens distortion. That's going to be another whole rendering thing. Oh, there's something else. Looking around your room is a good way to get weapons on the wall. So this is going to be a UI thing. UI. Now, in VR, the best UI is literally just a floating wall. Which, like in art, would look like one of those tizzle, palette teasel. That's the complete wrong word. I have it in my head. It looks like this. There's a weird thing like that. It goes like that. As just a bunch of colors or hint or whatever. So, in the app itself, you can really customize it to be whatever. When you want to change a color, you can literally just have a little UI teasel thing, whatever they called, just appear over one hand. And then you can just pick the color and do whatever with it with the other hand. Or constantly floating like near you, you can just have a whole ass wall. A wall of different brushes, shapes, textures. I don't know, like settings, I don't know. Or you could just have like a little pause menu thing. A little pause menu thing. Where you go to it and then you're just in an entirely different space. Think of the that one thingy in Noeda, where it just has every combination of wand, every material, like everything. And you could just go there. So you're not maybe it's like a room. You go to the room, let me do a little point thingy. Go to the room. Now you have a window, or even multiple windows, that is showing you your work. So you have one wall here, but you're not actually seeing it 3D. These are just like kind of still frames. From like little perspectives from around what you're doing. And then on another wall is where you have all the techno babble shit. And so when you want to go to a different brush or something, or you need to find an asset or something, you go to this room. So you can still see what you're working on. Let's say this one is your last perspective. This one's the front facing, side facing, backwards side facing, or top facing, or whatever. Like whatever you want. You can set it to whatever. Yeah, that's kind of it's a UI thing. Paper, paper, paper. Oh, wait, did I already put this in? I really wish this was a document or something so I could control F this page. So for the most part, I haven't done anything about animation. Like the actual picture moving. I think this stuff is the most I've done for it. But not yet. Okay. Okay. I need to use this space up before anything. And I need to find the documents that have the actual stuff for the app I wanted to make. And it's 2D, like a regular 2D app, but I think it would be really good to have all those past ideas. Or comedy at which was trying to create life. Gemstone? Oh wait, that was the holy turret. This is game slice theory, which is more of a theological thing. Forever Dreamland, which is just personal. This is a Minecraft mod. That is a mass protector, colored books. These are just lead thing for okay, I already that's not in it. Open up because it's your species spaceship. What is this? Not on this. It's the other one. Figure. So bad news. Either it's either it is in a book and I didn't tear it out yet, but I don't want to go through all the books. Or I didn't look closely enough at all the papers, or it's underneath one. But I don't want to go through all that again. Like I skimmed it all for a reason. I decided not to actually look at anything. Or I threw it away, which is yeah. Basically, it's just bad news all the way down. which means I will just work on the animation part of it. Okay. So we still frame versus active blur, which basically means this. You're in a 3D setting and you want a ball to fall off of a cube. Let's say you want it to happen in 10 seconds at 30 frames a second. Now, a still frame, like 10 seconds, 30 frames, so you have 300 frames. A still frame is obviously you just pause time, and then whatever is happening around, it's just a still, like a, it's 3D and you're in it and you can move around it and everything. It's frozen. While it's frozen, you can add textures to certain things, which will continue throughout the whole animation. Or you could take a note, like, okay, at around 157 frames, that's when it should be around here or whatever. And you'll see it, and you'll see the note. Like, you can have a little tracker thing of the whole thing, and you can see, oh, that's where the note is. And you could just hover over it, and it'll be like midway. As in, if you click on this frame, it will take you to here where you see where the ball's going to be mid-frame. Now, there's going to be animating in the blur and doing the still frame animating. Still frame animating kind of sucks. Takes a long time. Active blur animating is going to be called loose puppeting. So, if you want the ball to fall, you're just by hand you basically have the ball on the cube, so I'm not going to go to the cube, and you move it by hand. So, like, you press play, and this, the where you actually are, is going to go. It's going to go, woo, and then reset, woo, and then reset, woo, and then reset. For you, it might be easy to have an auditory beep when it starts and when it stops. So, do a test run. You wait like 3, 2, 1, beep, and then you like do the whole whoop, and you like do that. If you don't hear the beep yet, it's like, oh, I went too fast or I went too slow or whatever. Now, within here, within here, there's going to be multiple layers, okay? Oh, no, too much. There's going to be multiple layers. So, you have the main one that kind of has everything, but not really. Like, for example, well, let's just say it has everything. So it has all of, no, it's not bright enough. It has all of the notes you have, but it also has the attempts you make to actually do it. So, boop, boop, boop. Now, each of these, you might as well think it as parallel universes. Because what you want to do, right, what you want to do is try this a bunch of times. Just whoosh. Oh, okay. Whoosh, whoosh. Like beep, do it, okay. Beep, do it, okay. You make a bunch of these. And then you press play, and what you will see is a multitude of balls go. I don't know what that was about. Go from here to the floor. Now, generally, it's like, okay, I'm gonna eyeball which one looks the best. And while in this mode, you're literally able to click, okay, this ball looks the best. Let me freeze frame it. Everything's frozen, and you see a bunch of different sorry. And you see a bunch of different balls. You're able to grab one. Then it'll isolate it. It's like, okay. Well, or at least it will highlight it. So this one will just be like, nope. This one will just be like, I'm highlighted. I'm more important than the rest. Now, in this mode, the rest are still, you know, kind of shown, but they have lower opacity. So you press play again, and it will mainly show you this one. But all of these other ones are still gonna be shown at half opacity, or whatever opacity you want to set it to. Now, if you really like it, you could just delete all of these. But if you like a part of it, you can literally go in here. Let's say you like the beginning of it to here. And then let's say you try it again, you start the player from here to here. So you stitch this one in. You get the main one of this one, and then you stitch this one right here in. So you got that one as well. And then let's say you just want to do that later. So now you have two different time instances of the ball stitched together. Now, what might get in the way of this being good is minute. So let's say, oh yeah, I really like the first half of this part that I tried, and the second half of this part that I tried, but in between this one, it ends it with the ball. Yeah, let's just do it like this. So forget the middle of this would be here. Let's just, yeah. For all sakes and purposes, the end of this one is like this, while the beginning of this one is like this. Now you really like this instance and this instance, and it would really suck to have to forgo both of them or one of them because the beginning or the end don't exactly match up. Now you could try to do the correction thingy, so like how there's a fan mode for multiple textures in the same place, try to figure out which one's best. You could try let's like fan mode, let's say string mode. Where the app itself is like, okay, the user wants these to be in the same place. Now you're able to dictate certain settings, like, so basically try to like force the computer to do closer to what you want. Let's say what you want is for it to actually be in the center. Like, no matter how it strings together, at the end of the day, these both need to be in the center. And so the computer has to try extra hard to make this work. than this, because it's basically already in the center. Now what it could do is have this one off to the side more a little bit, and this one closer to here more, and just have some in-between weird frames. But you know, it'd be best just to like you have multiple windows into what the computer tried. And it's gonna be kind of like it's gonna be based off of an algorithm, but each algorithm might probably looks different. And so you're able to like, okay, and you're actually even able to see the specific settings of which of what the algorithms were running on to get which thing. So let's say number 3, actually let me do it like boop, 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 boop. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So you see 3 different alternatives of what the computer tries to do to reconcile this. And none of them were perfect, but you're able to look at one and be like, oh yeah, 3 is the best. So in string mode, it will just be like, okay, let's do a not. That's how you. Is it? Hold on. No, you'd have to double it up. Okay, hold on. Then you go through that, and then that's a not. There we go. Bit too long, but you get the point. We'll make a not in 3. And now what the not does, so this is the not setting. Like, okay, what I'm gonna do is put a not over here, over here, over here, and to the max over here. And it will try again. It will give you multiple instances of what the computer tries to do, but this time it goes within this range. Now, let's say you look at it and you're like, no, none of this, it was kind of close earlier. Now it just kind of looks like the same thing, like nothing really changed, and it's not how it should be. It will do a loose not mode. So, string mode, you don't like any of them, but you like 3 the best, you put knots on that, and it tries this again, where it's just going within this range, but it still doesn't work. Now it's like, okay, let's spice it up. And what it will do is get rid of one of these knots. And so instead of the setting being randomly between here and here, right now, let's say it gets rid of this one, it'll just be like, yeah, this is generally the same, but this is all the way over here now. And I'll spit that out, and hopefully that gets you closer. Rinse and repeat, it might take a bit, but yeah. Or you can literally just change it in time. So, you have a selection. You have this one. See, oh yeah, this one's really good. And this one, the lateral half of this one's really good. But you can combine it, but then what you do is kind of isolate this section and this section. And so it'll go beep, but then you could do the active blur motion, the loose puppeteering between here and here. And it will show you the starting position of here and like at lesser opacity and the end position of here at lesser opacity. And it'll even show you what the ball used to do. And so when you try it again to overwrite it, create a new, god damn it, create a new thing in between, you'll still see what this does. The beginning, the end, and what used to be, while also seeing what you do. So if you don't like it, you could just try again, try again, try again. But if you do like it, you could just snitch it in. Okay. And the next thing would be math animation. Animation. Now, part of it, you could, like, it's really easy to add physics to math animation, but it's also real easy to just like apply physics to the ball after whatever frame and just have physics apply for whatever bit. But we're not talking about that yet. We're talking about math animation. Now, for math animation, it really is just like math. So you can just put a math equation like, and I think I am doing this correctly. It's been a while. Y minus 2 equals, and it'd be the opposite. So negative x plus 3. Well, the thing is, he put in whatever, right? So, but let me at least make sure I have the equation correct. So at 0, it's 3. So it's 1. Let me do it in color. So it's 1, I think, at 0, right? No, you'd have to put. No, you. Hold on. Yeah. No, wait. Oh, wait. Plus 2. Wouldn't it be 5 then? How am I doing this so wrong? Hold on. X is 0, so you don't care about x. Y minus 2 equals 3. You add 2, y equals 5. All the way up here. 1 is, yeah, you just minus 1. So it just goes, oh, I forgot to make one of them squared. Whatever. It just goes down. I forgot to make it squared, but I don't want to do that. So you just have pretend it's a whatever equation. So a literal tool you can do is have something move along a certain path. And you could change the parameters to whatever. For this to be every second, or this you could be, okay, so every second is that, and that is the path the sphere goes by. You can animate it, like you throw it and you can literally animate its trajectory that way, where it's seamless. Or you can be like, okay, this is this frame, this is this frame, this is this frame, this is this frame. Now, this could be good for situations where you want something to slow down over time. And so, like, this could be 1. No, this could be like 0, 100, 200, 250, 265. And so, wait, what did that work like? Yeah, so this would be slower at the start and then speed up. You could do it like that. You could have the x-axis itself be its own equation. Be either just regular points of frames, regular seconds of time, or just any in between, but like add an exponential equation or whatever. Yeah, math like that. Hold on. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Now, I'm a bit of a dunce. Bit of a dunce. I don't. Oh, OPS disconnected. No, okay. What weird timing. Anyway, so I don't really know what goes in. See, you see all of this? It's just noise. It's just noise. All of this is just noise. All just noise. I don't know jack shit. Mm, you know what? Why not? Because it's gonna be multiplayer anyway. So why not just have like a what's a good way to put it? So okay, let's just have like a like an actual game mode or something. Improv mode. So you and your buddy, you each get lines. So lines for characters appear for a character. I'll just put CH. Now, events that happen, so like you're talking to someone, and then someone with a car first like crashes into the building. So events happen, but like actual animated events. So you're like basically it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm bored. Um I'm gonna get the app or whatever, but just for like the improv stuff. And so you connect to a random obby, and it's you and three people, and one of you guys. Like the thing is that this it's supposed to be seamless. So you have full body avatars instead of just like head and hands, and shit does happen. I don't know. And there's like props and stuff that has mild physics, so you can knock shit over and break shit. I'll just put like physics. That's kind of yeah. I don't really know what else to put here, honestly. Like I want the whole page to be filled, but there's still like area over here, bit of area over here, and over here. Oh, I'm looking at my wall of shit. House, clay house. I guess it's like a different way to add stuff. Put it here. Lay for mean for objects. This basically means like you have a sphere, and with a inching motion behind the way the pinching hand looks, you're able to pull the sphere to be up. I don't know. Like, you're able to like push and pull stuff to like mildly form it or whatever. That's like one. Is there something else? Let's do object property over here. So object properties. So things like light emission, tags for interactions, which basically means, like, let's say for part of the math equation, you put, for part of like literally this equation I was just thinking of, you put it expands until it gets to the same x coordinate of this kind of object. Or when these two objects interact while it's physically rendering, like you have physics in it, so it needs like, oh yeah, particle physics, falling physics, water physics, whatever physics it may be. And you have it so like, oh, when water touches this, like the simulation for the physics ends, or the water is blown away after 5 seconds, or whatever it may be. So light emission, tags for interactions, I guess transparency. I guess like I'll just put physics. So like gravity, if it's a gravity affected object, if it's able to break any of that. Looking around my room. I don't know. I don't know. OBS keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. But it's only like 30 seconds. It's not been there. I literally can't think of anything else. Um, part of me is like tempted to just ask ChatGPT. I really wish I had that paper from earlier with the 2D fucking drawing app that I needed. Or actually, let me just go to Google Slides. Maybe Google Slides will have something for me. Do. Anything in here? Sure. Let's just do Generation then. Nah, I feel now a generation would actually be a needed thing. Mm, mm. You know what? Sure. Fuck it. Why not? If there's gonna be physics and stuff, there might as well be a sandbox mode. Why not? Sure. Why not? I guess I could add basic stuff like importing and exporting. Mm. Oh, what's it called? AR? Yeah, AR. I need to fill in some gaps. I'll just put AR here. Mm. AR mode. Like, you know, I'm gonna take that as a sign to just no, it keeps disconnecting and reconnecting, so I can't think of anything else. So yeah. Oh, it's also recording for some reason. And I think it disconnected. That's interesting. What is